Yo, what's up guys? Today we are reacting to Jawan. This is the frame by frame. If you want to see my first time reaction, you click over here, there's a card, or go to the channel. This is the frame by frame. We're gonna take a close look at it. Okay, so this starts with kind of like a village, and we see kind of like a full moon, but it's still not revealed yet. Some thunder. Okay, so in this village we see basically kind of like a full moon. I don't know if that's like a ritual or something, but the police, I think that's the police, right? Or the army is coming. So we can see by the helmet that this is probably Vietnam. This is not in India. It's not a helmet, it's a cap. So probably, why would the Vietnam... Ah, interesting. Okay, so basically you can see that the arm over there doesn't have flesh on it. So this is basically a mummy. Who am I? Women power. Bookstore. So we're looking for clues here. We can see that everyone is wearing the Jawan mask. And there's military on the right hand side. You can see that military is trying to control the situation. And everyone is using the mummy helmet. Well, it's not a helmet, but you know what I'm saying. Huh. So far, what I think happened, this is my theory, is that he came back from the dead. He's a mummy, and he has the power to make everyone look like him with a mummy face. Not sure. Then we cut to this scene of the military again. This is a military base, I think. Or maybe it's the military going to somebody's house. We see footsteps to reveal a character. So all is a mystery right now. This is clearly SRK, the back of his head. He's looking towards a coupe, or what is this? Oh, this is a transportation. There's a Tata truck over there. So they're escorting a truck, which probably, are they transporting the body, the mummy? We see the mummy again. Okay, so we see a comparison of hands over here. So this is probably his mother, or a promise. He talks about the promise in the... Oh, baby was born in prison. Okay, interesting. So we have a few clues here. So he is probably like back from the dead. So you see the connection with the hands here. A baby was born in prison. A promise was made to a mother. Okay, KGF. You can see that he is a savior. So what I see over here, and what I've noticed so far, is that there's a lot of scenes with women. Like, this is an all-women prison, and they talked about women power in the beginning. So this is definitely talking about they're valuing the woman, especially as a mother. Okay, interesting. Or a purpose, unfinished. Okay, so basically he's talking about an unfinished purpose, which means basically he came back from the dead to finish something. Okay, so he's rocking the police uniform over here. Okay, we see over here, interesting, honoring the dead in the army. So the information I've gathered right now is probably somebody died in the army or serving. Look at that. It shows him in... Interesting. It shows him in war. This is a war zone. And that's SRK. But this also shows a medieval gun type of, it's not a gun, what do you call this? Arrow thrower, arrow launcher. We see also, okay, this is probably an explosion of that building that we saw. Helicopter, NSG, yeah, this is the same building we were talking about. So they came to capture him. Time is running. We see 3 indicators of time. This is a very good clue. Okay. We see one modern, which is behind this pendulum, and we see an old clock. Okay, so I think there are 3 timelines in this movie. This is what I'm gathering. So the new clock, the digital clock, represents him in the present. This is my theory. The old clock represents him in the past. That's why he's mummified. And the pendulum is basically, you see his position with his hands on his dome. That is basically kind of a like a symbol of peace and balance, and he's trying to find, you know, the balance, I think. And then we see this part over here. Oh, wait. My mistake. Where was I? Okay, here. I pressed the wrong button and we fast forwarded too much. Here we see him get hit. No, he's hitting over here. Well, he barely hit. He actually missed. Wow. The stunt double took a very long time. You know, this was delayed. Delayed impact. But I like this. Look at that. The effects is so beautiful of the glass shattering. And we don't expect anything less from Red Chilies. They are very good at effects. So he is submerged. It's talking about a blessing or a curse. So this might be a reference to him coming back, you know. A blessing or a curse. Do we know this actor? Is he famous? We see the NSG, the National Security Guard, right? They're trying to get him. And he's fighting over here with the... What look does he have? I think he has the... By the way, this was an awesome stunt. So here he has that military look. Huh, we see over here on the left-hand side, that's Arabic, isn't it? So where are they in this situation? Okay, interesting, because we see fire here, and he's wearing this... Is that a mask, or is his face burnt from the fire? Because I am you, for better or worse. Okay, interesting. So we definitely will see SRK in many roles here. Although this looks like Akshay Kumar for a second. But that's SRK. Look at that. But it feels like he is rejuvenated for a second. I don't know. There's something about his eye that doesn't look natural. Ready? And then the action sequence starts. And he stepped on a bomb over there. So basically he blew everything up. Do you think this is kind of like, you know, the movie The One? Where there's like multiple versions of him? So here is the mummy version. Wow, that looks amazing. That looks intense. That is beautiful. This is a very detailed trailer. They called it a preview. So you can see that this is his mummy version. So I think he's gonna have multiple roles in this movie. Maybe we're gonna see the theme of, you know, father and son, because that's a very recurring theme. We saw that in Bahubali, we saw that in other places also. So this is very interesting. What are your theories so far? Shah Rukh Khan, you know the name. Bro, the name Shah Rukh Khan is enough to sell movies, honestly. Okay, another theme with all women. So we see that this movie is very empowering to the women, I think, because there's always this theme, and you can see, look, this is, interesting. These are ladies from prison, and he is emerging, and they're celebrating. So this is basically him coming back. Interesting. So he's coming back as an adult, because he was a baby when he was born in prison. Ah, that's interesting. So there's a lot of recurring themes of women, a lot of women. Interesting. Nayanthara. Where is she from, by the way? Nayanthara. Here we see Vijay Sethupathi, so that's gonna please all the Tamil fans. Is he the villain or the anti-villain? You can see that he's training with some kind of glove that resembles a mummy glove. Bro, this has a lot of mummy references. Look at that. So he's basically gonna rival Shah Rukh Khan. Look at that. His mummy hands. That is so interesting. And then we see Deepika Padukone, all wet in the rain. Special appearance. So this is just gonna be a cameo. And she's fighting SRK over here. Interesting. That's nice. Bro, look at that. She manhandled him and threw him into the mud. Co-produced by Gaurav Verma. Bro, what is Deepika Padukone to SRK? Because they make a lot of movies together. They have good chemistry. They were in Pathaan together, weren't they? Here we see him in the modern time. Here we see him... Oh, this is Deepika doing an amazing move. So we're gonna see her in more than 2 scenes. I love this type of camera. You know, when somebody is you know, turning over, they basically turn the camera as well. So here we see a sequence of 3 people getting thrown over. So this type of technique, actually more than one. Interesting. Oh yeah, more than one. Anirudh musical. So basically when they use this type of side by side of flipping, it's kind of like to hype you up for the movie. Ooh, automatic. This is just the beginning. You see, look, they always repeat the same type of look. This is their arming, the guns. And here he has 3 minutes. It looks like this is a woman wearing that, though. Because I don't see an Adam's apple. Oh, if I would guess, this is Deepika Padukone. She probably got killed for some reason. And then he's trying to... I don't know. Good to girls? See, good to go girls. Also... See, another theme of women. Women being empowered. Ready, chief. Just in time on the right. Just in time on the left. Okay, so basically what I gather from this scene is that Shah Rukh Khan has an army of ladies from prison that he can count on. That is so interesting to think, you know, that he has his kind of like, you know, Charlie's Angels, but Shah Rukh Khan Angels, SRK Angels. Okay, so you can see by the uniform, this is definitely in Asia, like Vietnam, or oh, India is also in Asia, but you know what I mean, like, interesting. And then they're in the prison again. So we see there are like different scenarios here. We see the village, we see the prison, we see so always it's kind of like 3 types of timelines. So I think there's going to be 3 timelines here. So this is going to be an awesome action movie, but mixed with you know, I think fantasy, because he's definitely a mummy. Or maybe he didn't die. Maybe he was just mummified, but, you know, he didn't die. There's a lot of, you know, clues here, but it's hard for us to... Oh, here's Vijay Sethupathi again. I didn't notice him the first time seeing. He's in the plane. Wow, look at that. You can clearly see him. Interesting, interesting. And then we see Deepika. Is that Deepika? No. Wait. That's Nayanthara. Oh, so I would guess Nayanthara is the love interest of SRK. Here we see the train going at full speed. I'm sure Spider-Man is gonna come and save them at this point. So this is in India. So, you know, I can see that this movie is gonna be in different places. It's a spy movie, action movie, you know, fiction. Okay, now this woman is injecting something. Ah, there's a lot of clues here. At the end, I'm gonna gather all the information. And we see the women again. So definitely this is gonna empower women. It's gonna be a movie, you know, based on women power. There's only 2 actors that I kind of recognize, which is SRK and Vijay Sethupathi, and the rest are basically women. So that's going to be interesting. See, now there's a side-by-side of all the women. Okay, we're almost finished. Oh, now we see the men. Okay. That guy over there on the left looks like Mel Gibson from far. Okay. We're gonna gather all this information. We're back to the prison cell. Over here, there's a rebellion. And there's a dance scene, of course, in the prison cell. Okay, amazing. I wonder how they're gonna fit this in, though. You know, is it gonna be part of the story? Is it gonna be like an imagination? I think this is the part that he comes in, you know, like the savior is back. Ah, so thinking back to when he was a baby, born in prison, he's probably the savior who's gonna, you know, get them out of prison. Okay, so this goes back to the beginning of the trailer where he was using binoculars to see this. Okay, this is so interesting. We're gathering information as we go. Here we go back to everyone wearing a mask. This is probably a diversion. Interesting, so that they don't know who is the man in the mask, so they can't catch him. Okay, we see over here a stunt. Dude is smoking while he is on the bike, and it's interesting that there wasn't a warning sign that smoking is bad for you. Do you need a warning sign for trailers? Guys, of course, you are gonna get much more references than I will. Oh, this scene is amazing, and this is from the poster. This is the motion poster scene. Beautiful. Jawan. What does Jawan mean, by the way? And I know you guys are gonna get more references than me. Firstly, because, you know, you understand Indian movies more than I do. Oh, there's a KFC at the back over there. There's a KFC product placement. Okay, here we see him. It's interesting because in the beginning, when we saw the mummy for the first time, his arm had no flesh, and now it does. So does he regenerate? We see a ring with a lion face. That's clearly a reference to Leo. That's why Vijay Sethupathi is in the movie. Okay, and what is this? Kopar. Wait. Where is he going? When I become a villain. Okay, so from what I'm gathering is he is probably a war veteran that was probably betrayed, and then he comes back as, you know, a villain. NSG also coming against him stands a chance. So he tried with, okay, landmines. Okay, this goes back. This is the prison. So I think he came back to save his mother. Okay, so we're still gathering information, guys. Here we see him as bald SRK. Bro, this is action-packed. Look at that, the slow motion explosions. And he's a standalone man at the background. Okay, so here we see him with the ladies at the background. Okay, so it wasn't Deepika Padukone, and it wasn't Nayanthara wearing the bomb. It was this lady at the left. She's wearing the bomb. She's part of his squad. Okay, so if he is bald now, it's interesting because if these girls are from prison, then the prison scene happened before this happened. And it's interesting because, you know, he's wearing the mummy clothes, but he has like a very modern watch on his wrist. Oh, he has a tattoo on the side of his head. Does that say Coca-Cola? That looks like a Coca-Cola logo. No, but I don't think so. But man, SRK looks fire. I like this look. He looks nice bald. He would look nice bald. That is nice. Okay. And then there's a song at the end, which I don't recognize the song, but that could also be a clue. And he's doing a dance. He's clearly, he has a communication device on his hand. The lady at the back has a gun, a machine gun. So these people are clearly, you know, being terrorized by his dancing and, you know, being held hostage. So this character is supposed to be a villain, but he's funny at the same time. Because he's dancing, but everybody is scared of him. Look at this guy on the right. He is pooping his pants. I don't know if they're more terrorized by SRK, you know, bald. Interesting. This just in time is all over the place in the background. So this is also something referring to time. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so we have a lot of information now from the teaser, well, the trailer, the preview, if you want to call that a preview. Okay, guys, so with the information that I gathered, let's just try and put the pieces together. So we see him in prison. There's a baby that was born in prison. I presume it's him. We see him as a mummy in, you know, it looks like Vietnam. We see him, we see a lot of women being empowered. I don't know if you guys managed to see what I saw in the beginning, that it showed women. Where is it? I'll show you, because I'm worried that, okay, over here. Yeah, so over here you could see it says women power. So this is a recurring theme throughout the whole movie. Okay, so there's a lot that we have to think and consider. This could be 3 timelines. One, that he is a war hero. 2, that he is a villain. And 3, he is the mummy. So it's very hard to predict the plot of this movie without thinking. Actually, if we look at the synopsis, let's look at Jawan synopsis. That should give us an idea. A man is driven by a personal vendetta to rectify the wrongs in society while keeping a promise made years ago. He comes up with a monstrous outlaw with no fear who cause extreme suffering to many. Okay, so he was wronged by society. So I would think, because Deepika Padukone is a special appearance, probably that's probably his wife or his love interest in the past. She probably dies in this movie because, you know, it says special appearance. It doesn't say, like, you know, it doesn't credit her for throughout the whole movie. And normally when we see war heroes, they normally lose a family member or a love interest. That's normally, like, if it's a personal vendetta, personal always means family. And, you know, we've seen many, like, time and time again, people getting their loved ones, like their partners, love partners, killed. So probably he comes back for a vendetta, and he comes back as a mummy. So probably he and his family gets killed, and he comes back as a monster, as a mummy. Okay, maybe that's interesting. This is kind of like, you know, the Joker kind of thing. But maybe a version of him comes back as a villain. Or is he only a villain in this movie? It starts off as a war hero, and then he comes back as a villain. Because he says that he didn't say, well, basically paraphrasing what he said is that a hero is not enough to take on his enemy, so he had to become a villain. Ah, interesting. So I think basically he was trying to fight the system as a hero. He got killed and he comes back mummified. But then again, I don't know. It's interesting because when we see the Vietnam scenes over there, and the village and the rituals that they were doing over there, it doesn't look like it's too old. It doesn't look like it's the mummy years, because they have cars, they have guns. So that is something that is getting on, like, why is he mummified if he's coming back? Or maybe it's just a band-aid. Maybe it's not mummy. Oh, maybe he brought back an ancient mummy to help him fight. Oh, this is so... man, it really makes you brainstorm, doesn't it? And then there's a promise made. He says a promise made to his mother. So probably he was gonna... The promise maybe is gonna free them, free the women that were wrongfully accused, maybe. But clearly, this is a movie where he's gonna fight the government, basically, because we see throughout the whole preview that is his mission. He's fighting the NSG. He's fighting, you know, the army, and he's taking people hostage in the train. These are civilians, and there's clearly a sign of villainism over here, but there's also a sign of heroism. So, and there's a clear sign of women in power. So, you know, that's going to be interesting. I don't know. I haven't figured this out completely, but it's been 30 minutes here. Thank you guys for watching. What are your thoughts and theories? And I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. I will see you soon. And are you ready for Jawan? Let me know, guys. Take care now. Bye-bye. Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more, the link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right.